Hey everybody, this is Wendy Kim of Your Dream Realized Coaching, and we finally are at day 20 of the Survive to Thrive challenge, and I've been doing 20 days of videos where I give you a tip on how to go from survival, just getting through the day, just not feeling alive completely, and to actually not having a perfect life, but having a life where you feel alive and hey, just feel like you're thriving and you're growing and you're doing what you need to be doing in this world. So, first of all, I have to say that I need to clean something up because the past couple days I have not gone live, and what I had agreed to is that I would go live every day for 20 days. And the impact may be that you feel maybe like you can't count on me or that I'm not trustworthy, which I totally get. So what I'm going to do going forward is, first of all, I'm probably not going to do another one of these 20-day video challenges in a row. It definitely was a lot, but I learned a lot, and I failed, and I learned a lot. So definitely not going to have 20 days in a row of doing videos, although I did learn a ton. And also, we'll make sure that I put the video times in my schedule so that I'm not doing it last minute when I'm tired. So let me know if that works for you. And yeah, so failure. I feel like part of thriving, obviously, as you guys know, is really how you look at what happens to you in your life. Of course, one person can look at something and they can be like, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world, this is awful. And another person can look at that same situation and maybe not feel thrilled, but feel like, okay, we'll get through this. It's not a big deal. So I really believe that one of the major differences between someone who's surviving and someone who's thriving is the way that you look at failure. And I was having a great conversation. I had to get together with some friends yesterday and we were talking about this. And I know for me, it was like failure is not an option. You have to do it right, you have to do it well, and you have to do it perfectly the first time. And that is so I think it's changing, but that's really the way that the education system has taught us, right? It's like, okay, if you get things right, if you're correct, then you're doing great. But if you get it wrong, and then you're not doing so hot and you're not doing so well. So I wanted to share actually about a very recent failure of mine, which would be actually to some degree this Survive to Thrive challenge. And the whole reason that I did this challenge was to launch a group program. Things have been going really well with my one-on-one coaching, and I felt like, okay, there's people who I think I could really support who can't afford the one-on-one coaching. Why don't I offer a group coaching program that would be a lot more affordable? And then also, I was listening to what the gurus say. The gurus say, okay, you have to have a lot of different offerings. You have to have a one-on-one offering at a higher price point. You have to have like a middle tier and then a very inexpensive offering. So I was listening to the gurus instead of really listening to my heart and my intuition and sticking to really what was working well, which has been the one-on-one coaching. And I was like, okay, I've got to get this group coaching program working, and I've got to launch this because that's what I'm supposed to do. And it has not been going great. Like the enrollment, the level of interest. Uh, Part of it could definitely be the way I marketed it. I learned a lot about that. I learned how I need to be more specific in my targeting with this particular program and in general. So I would say this was definitely a failure. But what did I learn from it? I learned that I actually really didn't want to be doing the group coaching, but it was something that I felt like I was supposed to do at this point in my business. What else did I learn? I learned that, yeah, like maybe I learned that, yeah, I can focus on what's working well instead of just trying to reinvent the wheel from scratch and struggling. I learned that it doesn't make a lot of sense to spend a lot of time and energy on something that's a really low price point for me. And so I learned a ton from this. In the past, maybe a few years ago, I would have looked at this and I would have been devastated. I would have looked at it as, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. Not this was a failure, but I might have looked at it as I'm a failure. And now, thanks to a lot of coaching I've gotten, a lot of personal development, I can look at this and I can go, no, it's a learning experience. And I actually feel so excited about this because I had planned on really focusing on group coaching for the next 3 to 4 months. But now that this failed, I am really excited to pursue what actually is something I feel really aligned with and something I'm super excited and super scared about, which is public speaking. So, yeah, like when a failure happens, and I was talking to some friends about this, failure, even the word, like we should stop using that word. It's learning. It's learning. This is not a failure. This does not mean I'm a failure. This doesn't mean there's something wrong with me, which is how I would have looked at it in the past. So I would just ask you, like, how are you looking at failures? Or even reframing that, not looking at things as failures, but looking at different things that are happening to you as learning experiences and as growth. Like when a child is learning to walk, it's not like we're like, oh, boom, you should be walking. You should have just gone from crawling and just step right up and be confidently walking. Like none of us would expect that of a child, right? We expect that the child will fall. We expect, and then we encourage them just, and every time they take a step and every time they fall, they learn how to get stronger and they learn how to be more confident and walk. And so I really believe that our failures, that we should be celebrating those things. That we should, like, it was so cool. And I'm so grateful. Shout out to one of my best friends, Flavia, who is an amazing entrepreneur and inspires me so much. When I told her about my failure around the group coaching program, she was like, congratulations. And if you're not failing, if you're not trying, if you're not making mistakes, then there's something wrong there. You're missing out. You're missing out on the opportunity to grow, to contribute more. And so let's celebrate our, and let's not even call them failures. Let's just call them learning. And if there's something that you failed in recently, congratulations. And share it with us so we can take the stigma away, so that we can feel like we can take away that stigma or that expectation we put on ourselves that we have to be perfect and we have to do everything right the first time. So I would love to hear about your learning, and I would love to congratulate you and celebrate your learning. So please share that with me. And thank you so much for being a part, for all of you who've watched these videos, who've commented, who've liked, who have supported in any way. All of it means a ton to me. I cannot tell you. I do not take any of it for granted because I know your time is super valuable. And so thank you so much. And let me know if you have any feedback. I'd love to hear it. Okay, love you guys. Bye.